Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. It is 2 o'clock on the dot. My name is Kai Mentzer, Chair of the Board of County Commissioners. We have Vice Chair Commissioner Gary Edwards, Commissioner Carolina Mejia, as well as County Manager Miro Chavez, and some Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, and some staff members related to various items on today's agenda. We're going to kick off today by starting with the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Commissioner Mejia.
I pledge allegiance
to the
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm going to ask for a motion regarding today's agenda.
Yes, I would move to approve the Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021 agenda.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Agenda is approved for today. Is there a motion regarding board meeting minutes?
Yes, sir. I would move to approve the board meeting minutes from February 16th, 2021.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, board meeting minutes are approved. Motion carries. Agenda item 1 is opportunity for the public to address the board. Thurston County Commission welcomes comments from the public at our Tuesday 2 p.m. meetings. However, there are some guidelines governing such comments to ensure that they are appropriate and do not take advantage of the fact that most meetings are televised. The general speaking guidelines are to please introduce yourself, give you the area of the county in which you reside, silence your cell phone, address the board, not audience or staff members. Speakers are limited to a total of 3 minutes. You may not donate that time to another speaker. No comments that are lewd or offensive, inflammatory, defamatory, or discriminatory in nature. Please be respectful. The board reserves the right to restrict a person's opportunity to address the meeting for good cause. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business. No remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that might become before the board in a quasi-judicial capacity. And finally, all materials provided to the county are subject to public records and public release upon request pursuant to RCW 4256. And with that, I have been given a list of folks in the boardroom, and we'll start with number 1 there, which is John Pettit.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I appreciate being here to talk to you. I have several topics. 3 minutes isn't ever enough, but the first topic was I appreciated some action you took this morning in taking something off of the previously planned agenda that it had to do with a process of bidding. The public's entitled to an opportunity to have everything bid out there at the lowest possible rate. Many of you might know already that I do a lot of work regarding permitting processes. I am reached out by a number of clientele that they want me to help them. And quite candidly, they're very business-oriented people. And when they sign a contract that expires at a certain time for a certain set of rate, if one of those items is going to change, they want to change their rate, then I go shopping for new contractors until I find out we get the best rate available. We don't just amend their rate and let them continue. And on that particular topic, all of that information that was done on previous studies belongs to Thurston County, and sometimes even a different eyeball at a situation may have a better opinion or an opinion that might have other ideas that can benefit, but that topic should probably be down the road a ways. 2 other quick things. One is my friend Mr. Terry Stanley Ballard is still looking for have some information regarding the Veterans Fund and a study that was done. Another particular item you have on your agenda today, I'm doing this out of my head, but it's the emergency, extension of the emergency. And while I understand that may be necessary, in terms of in the bottom section, I think it was line item 4 for the therefores, the reference was towards open public meetings, and there's one word, if you deleted that one word, I'd be a happy camper, and that is where it says all meetings. And instead, it should just say meetings, because any emergency that's related to COVID is open to, of course, the standard state law, but if it's not a COVID-related meeting, just having something that says COVID within the meeting doesn't make it exempt, shouldn't make it exempt from Open Public Meeting Act requirements. Okay, now to my big topic. You saw I dropped off a little piece of paper to you. This one that says $420,160. Well, what that's about is as a person that provides planning, I end up going in there, and the rate we have to pay is $202 an hour. If you do the math, you'll find out that that's the price that the planning department charges for people to work on permitting process. And the issue is that number there is more than we pay to the President of the United States. It's more than we do. I don't know if the county pays it directly when you're doing different elements, but I would really like to see some changes. The county fees are about 3 times higher than what any of the other municipalities are. And I just got done sending you a statement, an email, which is a Attorney General's opinion that if fees are in excess of actual cost for the regulatory action being taken, it becomes a tax, and that's illegal. So you may want to look into that as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other public commenters in the boardroom today?
Not in the boardroom. Let me check the Zoom. I don't recognize anybody in the Zoom screen. They would like to provide public testimony. I believe all of them are county employees, but if I miss anybody, could you please unmute yourself? Introduce who you are, where you live in the county. You have 3 minutes. Sir, let me check the conference call. Good afternoon. For those members of the public who have joined us via conference call this afternoon, if you would like to provide public testimony to the Board of County Commissioners this afternoon, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, where you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes. None, sir.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 2, County Manager's Update.
I don't have any specific updates for today. Thank you.
Next up, the consent agenda. We have 3A through 3E. Is there any desire to pull anything or have it considered separately? Or is there alternatively a motion regarding the consent agenda?
Sir, I missed part of that. Are you asking for a motion if we don't have anything to add?
That's correct.
Yes, okay. I have nothing to add.
Okay. Then a motion regarding consent items 3A through E.
Okay, I would move that we approve items A through E on today's agenda.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Consent agenda is approved. Motion carries. And we'll go to item 4. This is a department item of the Auditor's Office, specifically setting a public hearing to change precinct boundaries. County Manager, can you set this up for us?
Yes, I think we have Mary Hall online. She's going to be presenting the item.
Okay, very good.
Well, good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, my name's Mary Hall. I'm the Thurston County Auditor. My staff is in the process of performing our annual precinct maintenance. Now, precinct maintenance on an annual basis is very different than redistricting. We're required to adjust our precincts due to a number of things. Precincts can't exceed 1,500 registered voters, and we have some that are exceeding or getting very close to that number. Plus, we've had some city annexations. So state law requires that we have a public hearing. So I'm here today to ask the board to set a public hearing for Tuesday, March 23rd at 3 p.m. for any feedback on these precinct changes. So these boundary adjustments, as I mentioned, are necessary to comply with state law. And we don't have many. We've got 11 precincts with boundary line adjustments and updating 10 precincts. And then we'll have to, of course, adjust the legal descriptions. We had a couple city annexations as well, and precincts can't straddle city boundaries. So we'll be adjusting for that. So following this meeting, we will be putting all of the proposed changes up on our website for the public to review. So our website is thurstonvotes.org. And if anybody has any questions at all, they can call us at 360-786-5408. Thank you. Any questions?
Commissioner Mejia, any questions on this?
No questions for me.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, very good. The folks, if they really want to dive into it, there was a board briefing about a week ago where
On the 18th, yeah, February 18th.
we went through each change in detail, and it's a good overview for folks that might want to watch that.
And we will be providing that PowerPoint presentation at the public hearing as well.
Perfect. Is there a motion regarding item 4A?
Yes, sir. I would move to set a public hearing for Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021 at 3 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the Thurston County Courthouse, Building 1, Room 280, to accept public testimony regarding proposed precinct boundary changes.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Item 5 is under Commissioners. It is extending the local declaration of emergency for COVID-19.
Thank you, Commissioners. Let me provide you with a brief background. On January 21st, 2020, the Washington State Department of Health confirmed the first case of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 in the United States that was located in Snohomish, Washington, Snohomish County. On January 31st, 2020, the United States Department of Health and Human Services declared a public emergency for COVID-19 beginning January 27, 2020. On February 29, 2020, the governor of the state of Washington adopted a proclamation and subsequent amendments and proclaimed the state of emergency exists in all counties in Washington state as a result of the COVID-19 emergency. On March 10, 2020, the governor signed a proclamation addressing risks to persons living in congregate care settings and imposing certain restrictions in all counties in the state of Washington. On March 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization declared a state of pandemic due to COVID-19. On March 12, 2020, the Board of County Commissioners approved Resolution 15880, proclaiming a state of emergency within Thurston County due to COVID-19, which expires at that time, April 15, 2020. Whereas on March 13, 2020, the President of the United States declared a national emergency due to COVID-19. On March 11, 2020, Thurston County had the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in our region. On February 17, 2021, just a little bit shy of a year, Thurston County has 6,951 cases as of February 17, 2021, and 63 deaths related to the COVID-19 virus. As of February 17, 2021, the State Department of Health has reported that at least 313,633 confirmed cases in Washington state, with 4,759 associated deaths statewide. The CDC identifies potential public health threats posed by COVID-19, both globally and in the United States, as high, and continues to be the case, and has advised the person-to-person spread of COVID-19 and the emerging variants of the virus will continue to occur globally and continues to provide a threat to the United States. There has continued to be evidence of the transmission of COVID-19 within Thurston County. The county's declaration of local emergency will continue to allow the county, pursuant RCW 42.30.070, if any reason of the declared emergency, there is a need to expedite action by the governing body to meet the emergency. The presiding officer of the governing body may provide for the meeting site and other than the regular meeting sites, other requirements related to the Open Public Meetings Act. As a result, the governor and proclamation 2028 and subsequent amendments have amended an extension and relaxed some of the restrictions related to the Open Public Meeting Act. The Board of County Commissioners extended the emergency declaration, which is going to be lapsing the end of this week. That will be February 28, 2021. This proposed resolution for your consideration is to extending the current state of emergency in Thurston County to October 31st, 2021. And my hopeful closing comment will be this will be hopefully the last extension of this emergency. Then my hope is by October 31st, 2020, we have overcome this pandemic and we will get moving on to somewhat of a normalcy in the county as well as the nation and the world. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Commissioner McGee, anything? Okay, then is there a motion?
Yes, I would move to approve a resolution extending the declaration of a local emergency for COVID-19 through October 31st, 2021.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We'll move to item 6A, Central Services, resolution and call for sealed bids for solid waste facilities, SCADA system upgrade.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. Chris Elmer, our capital project manager, is going to provide some additional perspective. This particular action for your consideration is to call for sealed bids to get quotes related to replacing on public works and solid waste, the supervisory control and data acquisition system. Chris?
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Helmer. I am a capital project manager for Thurston County. This particular project will upgrade the existing supervisory control and data acquisition system at the Waste and Recovery Center in Thurston County. The existing SCADA system currently used for data acquisition, monitoring, and reporting of system-related information at the solid waste site has reached the end of its useful life and requires a replacement and upgrade. A design was developed and completed in December that includes newer, more efficient components, appropriately sized technology, integration of all existing points into the new system, and capacity for future system growth. Scope of the construction project includes fabrication, installation, and testing of all new control panels, modifications to existing and the existing electrical distribution system, installation and testing of wireless communication infrastructure, programmable logic controller programming, and other technical work required to upgrade the system. The estimated cost of the project is approximately $800,000 to $1.1 million and will be paid from solid waste tipping fees. The solicitation will be advertised in the Olympian and the Seattle Daily Journal of Commerce newspapers and posted on Builders Exchange website. This project is the 2021 Public Works Project. Capital Facilities Plan is in alignment with County Strategic Plan Initiative number 8 to support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community. Are there any questions related to the project?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Hadley.
Chris, could you explain the acronym SCADA for the public?
Yes, sir. The SCADA it stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, and there's a lot of regulatory requirements to gather information related to the closed landfills, such as leachate amounts and flows, and the gas amounts and flows coming off the top of the closed landfill. All of these fluids and gases need to be managed and monitored. This system basically manages and monitors all of the equipment needed to ensure the correct flow and to document all of the information related to these particular systems.
Thank you. I guess I might add that I'm aware of more than 2 years we've been discussing this upgrade, if you will, or fix, however you want to look at it. And one of the many things discussed was the possibility of taking the gas from the landfill and converting it and making electricity out of it by running it through a generator system. And the problem that was discovered was that there just was not enough quality of good gas to make that happen. So just for the public's information, many different scenarios were discussed leading up to this over the last couple of years.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mejia, anything for Chris?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Yes, I would move to approve a resolution extending the, I would move to approve the resolution and call for sealed bids for Public Works, Solid Waste Facilities, Supervisory Control, and Data Acquisition System upgrade. And that would be capital project CP number 91726.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 And that motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Moving to item 7, Information Technology, Microsoft Premier Services Agreement. We have Dennis Osorio from our IT Director.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Dennis Osorio, IT Director. This request is to waive competitive bidding and enter into a contract with Microsoft for Premier Services, which provides IT county staff direct access to Premier field engineers within Microsoft. The county's used this support services over the last 6 years since we went to the Office 365 suite for extended support on all of the Office 365 suite from Word, Outlook, Excel, as well as Windows Server, SQL, SharePoint, Exchange Online, and multiple other network architectures. The proposed contract for the Microsoft Premier Services is $73,780, and that includes sales tax. And it's for a 1-year term, and it is already budgeted within the IT rates that we collect.
Thank you. Questions for Dennis from the board?
The only thing I might have is just when you talk about a sole source, I mean, the reason for that is because they're the ones that take care of their product. Is that right?
That is correct, Commissioner. They not only take care of their product, they host our Exchange Online, and we use all of their products. So the sole source is getting the support from the vendor who actually created the products.
And they actually have us locked in, so to speak, I guess.
As I mentioned before, we're somewhat of a Microsoft shop since we use Microsoft Windows and Server, and all of our endpoints are on there as well as our email. So having this service available for us really helps out if we get into some complex issues.
Thank you.
Just as a follow-up question, could you give us some examples, just for the public, what kind of issues we might run to that we might need the service for?
Sure. Any so when I say Exchange Online, that's all of our email boxes that are hosted in the cloud. If we have any issues with email that from a configuration or architecture perspective, we can call them to get that resolved. So that's more of the reactive hours. The good thing with this service is we also can use this for proactive hours. So throughout the year, we make sure to save a bank of those in case we run into an issue where we need help. But we also use them like we did last year to go look at our Active Directory. And what we did was able to do some configurations which helped our security for the entire county, how we all authenticate to the network.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that covers it. Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. I would move to waive competitive bidding requirements and approve the sole source professional services contract with Microsoft Premier Support Services for $73,780 for a one-year term and authorize the Information Technology Director to execute the contract and any amendments that do not exceed 10%.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Okay, so we ticked through a number of items there, and that takes us to item 8, which is starts with the commissioners reporting on board work sessions or assigned committee meetings or community activities, as well as any upcoming issues to flag. And I'll start with Commissioner Mejia.
So I've been attending my committees, and one of them I attended yesterday was the Pack Mountain and Workforce Development Committee, and they were talking about the Thurston County Resource Hub. And so they are working with community partners on that. So that was a very interesting conversation. Other than that, I don't have anything that pops up that I need to report.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Evers.
Last week was fire commissioners, Emergency Medical Services Council, Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization Governing Board. We haven't come up with a real acronym for that yet. And South Thurston Education Steady, and the Nisqually River Council, and then fielding activities and calls around the Nisqually flood situation and COVID vaccine and schools. So that's my week.
Okay, great. I had, with my seatmates, we attended the Homeless Housing Hub Hero Awards, which was a good event handled online this year, and had a chance to honor the shelter workers around Thurston County who've been very flexible and dynamic in meeting the needs of our houseless population. Most of my off-board activities related to climate, there was a training on Saturday I attended on how you can retrofit a multifamily building with people still living in it and make it extremely energy efficient, and what the techniques are that are being used in other parts of the country. Attended on Sunday night, a Thurston Climate Action Team kind of had a community panel sort of reporting out from the jurisdictions on kind of where we are with the process. And yesterday, kind of an informal subcommittee of the Climate Steering Committee met to kind of lay out a process for the phase 3. And we decided on the 4th Mondays at 3 p.m. for our meetings, and we will start that in March. So I believe it's March 22nd will be the first formal public meeting of the Climate Steering Committee, now that each jurisdiction has passed the approved the plan and entered into the interlocal agreement regarding phase 3. So that's pretty exciting. And that's it. So I'm going to turn it to County Manager for review of our upcoming schedule.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me walk you through your combined agenda for this upcoming week. Is where at least 2 commissioners will be present. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars. Those will not be part of my report. Nothing for the remainder of the day after you're done with this meeting. Wednesday, February 24th at 2 in the afternoon, you have a briefing related to the Water Resources Inventory Area 13. 3 in the afternoon, you have a briefing related to the issuance of bonds in Thurston County. Moving on to Thursday, February 25th, you have the State of the Department that will be conducted by Patrick O'Connor, the Director of Public Defense. At 10 in the afternoon, 10 in the morning, you will have a Commissioners check-in, and an agenda will be posted 24 hours in advance. Friday, February 26th, nothing on your combined schedule. Moving on to next week, nothing on March 1st on your combined schedule. And then you will convene here on Tuesday, March 2nd at 9 in the morning to conduct your regular agenda setting. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for good of the order from the board?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, we are adjourned.